This is CBC Nova Scotia News.
Hero rescue. An off-duty RCMP officer helps save a family from a Cape Breton house fire.
Cracking down, New Waterford residents pack a community meeting demanding action on local drug crime.
And shark surveillance. Does Nova Scotia need shark detecting drones? We hear from the experts.
Another hot and soupy one with high humidity across the province today. Could be uncomfortable again for Friday. What does that mean for your weekend forecast? I'll have those details just ahead.
Good evening. An off-duty Mountie who helped 4 young people, including a baby, escape a massive house fire in Cape Breton is sharing his story tonight.
And so is the father who also helped save the lives of his family. It's a story of tragedy averted and also the unusual efforts to find out if the fire was arson. The CBC's Elizabeth Chu has our exclusive story.
Oh my Jesus. James, you got your phone to take a picture?
This was the scene in front of off-duty RCMP Constable Anton Lord when he followed dark smoke billowing into the sky on his way home from work on July 18th in Whitney Pier near Sydney. Lord's police training kicked in immediately.
The flame was moving very fast. I'm asking this gentleman to move his vehicle for the fire trucks.
Judging from all the people standing around, he thought no one was home. Then he spoke to this neighbor.
He said, well, there's a lot of people live there, even kids. And I'll never forget that it almost seemed like everything froze.
He headed towards the burning house and started banging on windows just in case, when he saw something he'll never forget. Blinds parting slightly, a child peeking out.
Probably frightened him with some of the things I was saying for him to get out. I get that. And then I lost sight of him because he closed the blinds. I'm thinking, okay, he's not going to leave.
He called out for something to break the window. Around the same time, Peter Magliaro raced home after getting a call about the fire. He ran past flames to rescue his 3 children and a 4-month-old baby, his step-granddaughter. He found Lord at the basement window.
And I had no idea who Officer Lord was or who this guy was. Anyway, I just started kicking at the window. I kicked the window through and passed the baby to him. And then my brother-in-law was standing there with me and we just pulled everybody out.
With everyone safe, Magliaro and his wife Jolene now want to find out how it happened. He's offering a $25,000 reward in cash or crypto for tips leading to an arrest because he believes the fire was arson.
When I got here, my neighbor next door, it was just, he said they heard a bang and then the next thing you know, the whole front of the house was engulfed in flames.
Why do you think somebody would do that?
I have no idea. I couldn't tell you that.
The Nova Scotia Fire Marshal's office is investigating, so is Cape Breton Regional Police. However, a spokesperson for the police department says they cannot speculate on the cause of the fire or whether it was intentionally set, because that's all part of the police investigation. Magliaro plans to forward the tips he's collected to Cape Breton Regional Police. He also plans to rebuild soon using his savings because the house was uninsured. With his family safe, including 2 pets rescued by fire crews, Magliaro is feeling grateful for those who helped, especially Lord, who followed smoke in the sky instead of continuing home after work.
I want to thank him. I mean, he supported us, I mean, that's big. Not too many people would do that with the amount of people that were here that day. And I mean, this guy's right there on my back with me. That was pretty decent.
I think I was just meant to be there. I was meant to be there to ensure that the right boxes were checked. In that case, that box was a window.
Elizabeth Chu, CBC News, Halifax.
A man's body has been found at a recycling facility in Halifax. Police say the body of a 50-year-old man was discovered at the facility on Chain Lake Drive. They confirm the body arrived at the facility in a truck that collected materials from commercial containers throughout Bears Lake and Halifax Wednesday morning. Police say the cause of the death is not believed to be suspicious.
Hundreds of people gathered at the New Waterford and District Community Centre last night. They were there to voice their concerns about illegal drugs and related crime in the area. CBC's Kyle Moore was there.
Saying where the drug houses were. How many was that again? Yeah, we all know what we need to be doing after this meeting.
It was a meeting full of passion and emotion from residents wanting solutions to drugs and crime in their community.
As a child, I remember never locking a window or a door. And now, I'm barricaded in my home with everything locked up solid.
Hundreds gathered at the community arena to tell officials about not feeling safe, witnessing drug activity in broad daylight, and the lack of supports for addiction in the New Waterford area.
I want to know, are we getting some more rehab facilities to help people to address this problem here? Because then you won't need as many police if people are actually getting help, the help that they need.
Darnell Young says his 16-year-old son no longer goes to the local basketball court to play ball.
How many times did he go down there, here, have a puff, or here, want some pills, this here? That's unacceptable. We have to, the people that are using it, great. If you're down there selling, get the hell out.
Interim Cape Breton Regional Police Chief Stephen McKinnon heard from residents who want more of a police presence in town, something he says he's looking into.
It'll be one piece to solve that, but there's a deeper need for strong community programs.
CBRM Mayor Cecil Clark says the provincial and federal governments need to do more.
Absolutely need more, and we need more financial commitment from the federal governments for the programs for crime prevention and intervention as well.
But the key thing we have to get at here is getting the damn drug dealers off of our streets.
The councillor for the area says another meeting will be held in the future to follow up with the community. Kyle Moore, CBC News, New Waterford.
Nova Scotia's energy minister says he made a huge mistake and he's committed to rebuilding the public's trust. Marco McLeod came under fire last week when a song he recorded more than a decade ago resurfaced. It contains misogynistic lyrics that critics say perpetuate a culture of violence against women. Taryn Grant reports.
He apologized in writing over the weekend, now in front of a microphone.
Huge mistake on my part. I'm very sorry about this.
The cabinet minister took questions Thursday for the first time since Frank Magazine and AllNovaScotia.com broke the story that a younger McLeod recorded an explicit rap album.
I made a mistake. It doesn't matter, when it occurred.
His lyrics include derogatory descriptions of women. McLeod's cabinet colleague co-leads a roundtable on gender-based violence. She calls the lyrics unacceptable.
Of course, I, like many, I'm sure, think it was really, really, really dumb, really stupid.
But she gave him credit for taking responsibility and committing to do better.
He's been nothing but an incredible colleague to work with, and I expect and look forward to continuing to work with him.
McLeod says he is reading and learning from all the feedback he's received over the past week, but especially from Adsum House, a nonprofit that supports and advocates for vulnerable women. It said in a statement it is sickened by his violent and misogynistic songs. Opposition MLAs say he should be reaching out to Adsum House. McLeod says he has not, but is open to. Taryn Grant, CBC News, Halifax.
Cape Breton fiddler Ashley McIsaac has dropped a defamation lawsuit against Google. The musician had claimed the online giant defamed him late last year by falsely identifying him as a sex offender in an AI-generated summary. McIsaac said the summary falsely asserted he'd been convicted of a series of offenses, including sexual assault and internet luring involving a child. McIsaac filed a notice of discontinuance last month.
Tim Houston says he's open to a request from Ottawa to put American booze back on the shelves. Houston confirmed that U.S. alcohol sales are part of the ongoing trade talks between Canada and the U.S.
It's been an irritant. It's been something that has kind of really bothered the United States for so many reasons. Now, whether Nova Scotians or whether Canadians will actually buy it when it gets back on the shelves, that's a whole nother discussion. I mean, that's part of the overall relationship impact that we have here going forward.
Houston says the federal government has also asked that provinces do not exclude the U.S. in procurement policies. Let's take a quick break now. Check in on the weather forecast with Jay Scotland.
And it sounds like another hot, muggy day on Friday.
Yeah, I mean, we saw humidex values into the low to mid-30s today across the HRM, warmer in other spots. Not as bad if you were downwind of the water. Tomorrow, I do expect it to be similarly muggy. We will start to see a change Friday night into Saturday, and Saturday's shaping up to be pretty nice. Sunday, we'll talk more about that in your full forecast later. A bit wet and could be fairly soggy, and some pretty strong wind as well to contend with. As for tonight, that shower chance will diminish early this evening, but we do see a chance of showers returning again past midnight tonight. That sky will eventually become overcast, fog, shower chance with some drizzle possible. Mainly cloudy to overcast early in the morning. Some fog and drizzle also will be possible, but then that sky does begin to clear up a fair amount across the province in the afternoon. The one caveat I have here is a few, just with that humid air in place, isolated showers may be bubbling up into the afternoon, because 27 will actually feel more like 33, 34, even close to 35 with the humidex. But we can look forward to a bit less humidity, more comfortable conditions as we look forward even further into Saturday.
Okay,
right.
Sounds good. Thanks, Jay.
Thank you, Jay.
Grocery shoppers in the Halifax area have another option to buy food, this time at a lower cost. The long-awaited discount grocer Freshco opened 2 locations today. Empire Company's discount chain launched in the Bedford Place Mall and on Cobequid Road in Lower Sackville. The first shoppers into the stores say with the increase of the cost of food, these stores are needed.
Great thing. I went in and found some stuff I normally buy for about $14, and it was in there for $10, so it's a good deal.
Cost of food is very high. Coming from a mom with 3 kids, it's expensive.
The eggs are amazing when they're on sale, and the watermelon, the big ones, are $3.98. Yeah, that's like half what I usually see, so I'm very excited.
First Freshco stores in Atlantic Canada. Another one is expected to open in the fall.
As great white shark sightings are becoming an annual reality along Nova Scotia's coastlines, beaches in other parts of the world are turning to high-tech drones to keep swimmers safe.
CBC's Jenna Olson takes a look at whether this surveillance technology could be heading to our local waters.
Here at Martinique Beach, just outside Halifax, a shark sighting forced lifeguards to clear the water earlier this summer. Lifeguards say this is now an annual occurrence as great whites make their yearly migration to the province's warm waters. These shark-forced beach closures are also becoming more common in other parts of the world, thanks to a high-tech addition to lifeguard arsenals: drones. Governments around the world are spending tens of millions on drones to detect sharks lurking too close to their beaches. But should Nova Scotia invest in the technology too? The Nova Scotia Lifeguard Service doesn't think so.
We've looked at it, but at this time, it's not really something that's at the top of our list. And, if and when the situation changes, we might revisit it.
The Department of Natural Resources oversees Nova Scotia's public beaches. A department spokesperson confirmed to CBC News that drones are not currently used for shark surveillance, but did not respond to questions about whether the government is considering the technology. Drones aren't on Dion's mind because he's protected the province's beaches for 52 years, all without a shark attack.
There has never been an incident or an encounter with a shark. We've had some sightings, but never any encounters.
A couple decades ago, sharks induced beach closures once every couple of years. But now, Dion says about 2 closures a summer is the norm. Some Martinique beachgoers say lifeguard-operated drones would make them feel safer.
Invest in it all now and make people feel safe rather than waiting till something does happen and regretting that you didn't invest in it then.
I think there's probably better ways the province could invest the money, but it definitely would make me feel a little bit more secure.
Anything we can do to save the lives of people in the ocean, helping them enjoy it better with more peace of mind, I think it's worthwhile spending.
While spending on drones for shark surveillance is not in Nova Scotia's immediate future, the Lifeguard Service says avoiding swimming at dusk and dawn is one way to be shark smart on the province's beaches. Jenna Olson, CBC News, Martinique Beach.
Pretty sure there's no sharks in Lake William there. Jay will be up next with full weather forecast. We'll see you in a few minutes. And we've got Jay back with his full weather forecast.
Yeah, more summer-like weather for us, Jay.
Yeah, I mean, stop me if you've heard this. Tomorrow's going to be muggy. We can start out with some low cloud and maybe some drizzle, some fog. Really a holding pattern the last few days. We do start to see a bit of a change as that wind, as light as it is, will start to take on more of a northwesterly direction into tomorrow. A weak front is kind of passing through the region, and that will usher in some fresher air, we'll say, into Saturday. Humidity ticks up. The wind ticks up, and yeah, we could be looking at some even some heavier pockets of rain, unsettled conditions on Sunday. So we'll get more into that in just a moment. Temperature-wise today, though, we did see warmer temperatures across much of the province. 28 in Sydney. We saw 25 Malay Falls, Halifax at 26 degrees. I know that that 26 out of, as we look out of Stanfield, did feel around 34. It was still over 30 downtown as well. So it was muggy today. Certainly looking at that summer humidity, certainly in place for today and Friday, shaping up to see similar conditions as well. Seeing a few isolated showers starting to develop early this evening. There is a slight chance that that could come with a rumble. As we look through the latter part of the evening, that initial shower chance will wind down. There's a weakening front or trough that is moving in tonight, though, and ahead of it we do see not just clouds increasing, but some fog will start to set up late this evening and overnight as well. That may come with a bit of a sprinkle or even some light drizzle that could linger into the early morning hours tomorrow. We could be looking at some low cloud. Coastal fog could build its way inland in a few spots as well. Once the front moves through, though, and continues to diminish, we do see a partial clearing trend into the afternoon. Not expecting those showers that we see on this forecast model to be as widespread, but with that humid air still in place, it will be ticking down through the latter part of the day, but there still could be a few isolated showers that do bubble up even into the afternoon. So just be mindful. The sky is getting sunnier through the second half of the day, and those low clouds, that morning fog is retreating. You could see those clouds, at least localized, start to build into the afternoon, and you get a stray shower or two developing. Ridge of high pressure, though, will move in. That fresher air mass will move in as well as we look to Saturday. We will see a mainly sunny one to start the day, but through the afternoon, clouds do gradually begin to build. So first half of the day, that's where most of your sunshine will be on Saturday. Second half of the day, we'll see a mix of sun and cloud, but by late afternoon, early evening, starting to see those clouds filling in, and then we get into that chance of showers later in the evening, more so overnight into Sunday, where we could be looking at some heavier pockets of rain and a pretty robust wind that'll be coming in from the south to southeast as well. As for the overnight hours tonight, we will see fog possible in addition to those showers as that weakening front or trough moves through. Some drizzle also possible just with that low cloud, and temperatures staying between 16 to near 20 degrees tonight. Daytime highs tomorrow going to be very warm. Halifax, it'll be cooler by the water, but 27 degrees, likely a good ballpark for most of the HRM, feeling 33 to even close to 35 with the humidex. So watch for that afternoon shower chance to bubble up. It's not like everyone is going to see the rain, though. I just see a few isolated showers maybe developing, some convective showers with that humid air in place as we get into the afternoon. Otherwise, most of the precipitation you'll see will likely be some early morning drizzle or mist that we see with that low cloud and that fog that will be developing tonight as that front is moving through. So very summer-like as we look ahead to your Friday. Let's take a look at how the rest of the weekend is shaping up into your Saturday. We'll see a mix of sun and cloud, but we are going to start out with the sunnier conditions in the morning. I do expect those clouds to be increasing through the second half of the day. And as we get into the evening hours, this is where we could start to see a few showers building in for western areas Saturday evening. Now, overnight into Sunday, this is where we'll start to see that steadier rain. Even some heavier pockets of rain and some thunderstorms will be possible. So watch for that heavier rain potential even into Sunday morning. Temperatures will be cooler as a result, but it will be humid with that dampness in place, and that wind, more of a southeasterly wind, could be gusting for coastal areas 50 over 60 kilometers per hour. So not just wet on Sunday, could be a bit windy as well. We could see lingering showers, even periods of moderate rain into Monday morning before it does start to wind down. Temperatures are back to around or just above seasonal with a clearing trend into Tuesday, decently sunny Wednesday and Thursday as well. So really, not a bad one as we look ahead to next week. And as for that weekend forecast, we'll say not half bad. The good half being Saturday, the wet and windy half being your Sunday.
Yeah, about right. Okay, thanks so much, Jay.
Thanks, Jay. We're back after this. A Nova Scotia dog is being hailed a hero after rescuing his owner from a frozen lake, and it's earned him a spot in the 2026 Purina Animal Hall of Fame. And I'm here now with 6-year-old Timber, an Australian Shepherd, and his owner, Jenna Galloway. First of all, congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Take me back to the day when this all happened, a scary incident in the winter. Take me back there.
It was February 2nd. I was actually supposed to work in the afternoon, and we had had a beautiful snow the day before, and I looked outside and I thought, oh my God, what a beautiful day, because we hadn't gotten out quite as much as we would normally. We do skijoring, which is a sport where he's wearing a harness and he's attached to me and pulls me on my ski, so it's really fun to go flying down the trails. And this morning was the same as any other morning. We got ready, got harnessed up, we hit the trails. I was actually sending videos to friends of mine in a chat group. And they kind of stopped hearing from me for a minute, and I'd gotten a few text messages that I had seen later on, but they had no idea what happened. I hadn't told anybody where I was going. I just was off on one of my big adventures, and so we're going down the trail, and next thing I know, the ice gave way out from under me, and him and I were both in the water.
So did you panic? What did you think?
I was very panicked, but I also got like this weird clarity of, oh no, we're both in the water and we don't have time to think about it. So my first intuition was to get him out. And then, of course, now I have to get out, and I wasn't sure how we were going to accomplish that. So he has a command in mushing that's hike, which is a move forward. So I got him out of the ice, and I was just telling him to hike. So he started moving forward, and I'm thinking, there's no way this dog's going to be able to pull me out. But as I'm thinking that, he gets his line managed to tangled up in some branches and some alders, and it gave me just enough tension to pull on the line, and I was able to pull myself out.
How long did this all take?
It felt like hours, but it was probably like minutes, seconds even.
Okay, so now you're back on firm ground. What happens then?
Well, now we're about 1 kilometer in the woods away from my car, and I have to now get there somehow. I have no coat on, I have no phone. All that was lost in the water. My skis were lost in the water, so I had these great big heavy ski boots on. So he gave him the command to hike again, and he took me all the way to my car, 1 kilometer out of the woods down the trail. He never missed a beat. We were both frozen solid, and I made it home, and I walked through the door, and my husband looked at me and he's like, oh my gosh, what happened to you two? Where were you? And he was just in complete shock, and it just hit me later on, like, what actually happened.
And you recovered, obviously, both okay?
We both recovered okay. Thankfully, I wasn't in the water long enough. Neither of us were. And he's got all this great, big, nice, warm hair, so he was totally fine. I missed work, so.
Well, how did the whole Hall of Fame bit come about?
It was interesting. My breeder had actually sent it to me, and she had told, oh my gosh, listen to all these stories. And she's like, I think Timbers would be a good fit. And I was kind of like, no, I don't know. It's, I wasn't too sure about it. So, and she kind of encouraged me and said, well, if you don't, then I will. So I eventually said, you know what, I'll just send it in. I'm sure there's going to be thousands. What are the odds that we will get picked? And then I got a phone call, and we were in shock.
So what do you get when you're in the Hall of Fame?
We got a free year of dog food. So he eats Purina Pro Plan Sport anyway, so it worked out really well. And he gets a medal, and we're recognized on their website and news and share our story.
Does he have any idea what's going on?
He has absolutely no idea. He's happy. He got a great big steak. That was his prize for pulling me out, so he enjoyed that. But he had no idea what. He just knew that he was just following his commands. He's a very obedient dog, a very good boy. So he just did what I told him to.
Absolutely a good boy. Well, thank you for sharing your story with us, and congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Coming up, some U.S. tariffs will be cut but not eliminated as Canadian negotiators push to get the deal done by tomorrow.
And a vaccine trial, a new experimental treatment could help prevent melanoma from spreading and returning. Welcome back. Canada-U.S. Trade Minister Dominic LeBlanc is back in Washington to hammer out the final details of a potential trade deal with Donald Trump's top trade official before the Friday night midnight deadline.
Canadians are watching closely what the trade-off will be for tariff relief. The CBC's Ashley Burke has the latest.
Minister Dominic LeBlanc back in Washington, ironing out the details of a potential deal with Donald Trump's team.
Canadians expect us to get a deal that's in the economic interest of Canada and Canadian workers. We're very close. We continue to make progress. And we're going to stay here and do the work that's necessary until we get to that point.
Back home, Manitoba's premier says Canada should push for a better deal.
I think we should fight. I think Donald Trump is very weak. You can't make a good deal with a bad person, because who's to say it's not going to be undone?
Wab Kinew says the Prime Minister didn't tell premiers how much Trump's willing to lower his tariffs and worries Canada could lose its leverage if it puts American booze back on the shelves, like Mark Carney asked.
I wouldn't say that he was begging us, but what is a step before begging?
Quebec's premier also hasn't decided if she'll do it or what she thinks of the potential deal, even after speaking to Carney again.
He called me and we had a long conversation, and he had answers to my questions. So we are now analyzing.
As trade talks continue, polling shows there's not a lot of public support for concessions.
There's still deep animosity towards the Trump administration, to the United States. That feeling of betrayal, I don't think has really left. And so there's not a lot of appetite for anything that doesn't get us back to the kind of relationship we had before.
If a deal is signed, it will be up to the Prime Minister to try and sell it to Canadians. And Mark Carney has a lot at stake. He was elected on a promise to stand up to Donald Trump, so this could be one of his biggest tests yet. Ashley Burke, CBC News, Ottawa.
As we heard earlier, Prime Minister Mark Carney has asked premiers to put the American alcohol back on shelves. All provinces and territories except Alberta and Saskatchewan removed them in response to Donald Trump's trade war. But if American booze does end up back on store shelves across the country, will Canadians buy it? Thomas Daigle tackles that question.
More than a year after many provincial liquor stores pulled U.S. booze off the shelves, those bottles could soon be back in stock. Newfoundland and Labrador's premier says the request came straight from the Prime Minister.
He asked all of the provinces, as a sign of good faith, would we put U.S. liquor back on our shelves, and we all agreed.
But publicly, not all premiers have been so definitive. Of all the provinces that announced a U.S. booze boycott last year, most now say they're willing to consider dropping it to get better trade terms with the U.S.
When the time comes to execute that, I think it's very important that we've got a consensus on that. We move forward.
Quebec's liquor board is storing millions of dollars worth of American products in warehouses, while the premier considers Ottawa's position in trade talks with Washington.
It is possible that we put back the alcohol on the shelves of the SAQ, but we need first to have the analysis.
In Calgary, manager Matt Stortz is sharing what he's learned after Alberta allowed his store and others to keep stocking U.S. alcohol all along.
Just because provinces can buy the product doesn't mean it will sell.
Just ask buyers in Ottawa.
Regardless of whether it comes back on the shelves or not, I still wouldn't drink it.
Or in St. John's.
We got plenty of good alcohol here in Canada, and they've proven not to be our friends unless it's to their advantage.
Many Canadians say they're in no mood to buy American liquor, while others say they'd enjoy it if they could.
I like bourbon. Yeah, I don't really think much past that.
To all Canadians, Manitoba's premier is making this plea.
Leave it there. If we put the booze back on the shelves, don't buy it.
Assuming a deal comes through, restocking shelves everywhere could take weeks. Some tastes have already changed for good. Thomas Daigle, CBC News, Toronto.
We're learning new details relating to a Trump administration irritant, the opening of the Gordie Howe International Bridge. There are allegations that representatives of the nearby Ambassador Bridge, quote, aggressively pursued some truck drivers to keep their business. The CBC's Emma Loop has the exclusive details from Windsor.
Aggressive. That's how the Ambassador Bridge's pursuit of trucking clients during the delay in opening the Gordie Howe Bridge is being described by an industry group.
We are aware that the Ambassador Bridge has been
aggressively reaching out to trucking companies over the last several months, especially as the uncertainty over the bridge opening continued to be an issue.
CBC Windsor contacted several Canadian trucking companies to see if the Ambassador Bridge had approached them with toll rate offers. Most didn't answer, and those who did said they couldn't discuss private business agreements. But in a now-deleted Facebook post from late July, a union that represents FCA transport drivers in the U.S. said don't take the Gordie Howe Bridge because the company has a deal with the Ambassador Bridge that saves them $240,000 per month. Stellantis, which owns FCA Transport, declined to comment on proprietary information, but said it's looking forward to using the new span. The union for the FCA drivers didn't respond to a request for comment. Neither did the Ambassador Bridge. But toll rates and revenues were a big part of the political saga around the opening of the new bridge. The deal to finally open the $6.4 billion Gordie Howe Bridge, which Canada paid for in full, gives the U.S. government the power to block the new bridge from lowering tolls below the average of comparable regional crossings. And President Donald Trump has been accused of trying to halt the opening of the new span to benefit the Maroons, political donors who own the Ambassador Bridge and who have spent millions trying to stop any new competition. Schoen said the Trucking Association isn't exactly sure what the Ambassador Bridge was offering trucking companies, just that it was around retention. But in any case, he said they support healthy competition that can lower toll costs during a tough economic period. Emma Loop, CBC News, Windsor.
Ukrainian officials say a massive Russian attack on Kyiv and the surrounding region has killed at least 16 people. The overnight airstrikes lasted several hours and wounded 40 others. Scores of missiles and drones damaged 30 residential buildings, a school, and a children's hospital. More than 38,000 people, including 2,000 children, were forced to take shelter in the city's subway stations. Russia claims it hit Kyiv industrial site involved in a missile production as well. Ukraine's leader, Volodymyr Zelensky, is again urging allies to send more air defense missiles, but international stockpiles are low.
Prince Harry and Meghan, along with their 2 children, are moving back to the United Kingdom. The couple gave up their royal duties and moved to California in 2020. As Crystal Gamansing reports, it's unclear why they decided to return.
6 years after the Duke and Duchess of Sussex left the United Kingdom to start their new life in the United States, they are set to return. The Telegraph broke the story, and it's since been followed by other members of the British media, citing sources. King Charles reportedly only found out about Prince Harry's plans on Sunday. Now, we don't know exactly what the family plans to do here or how Prince Harry and Meghan Markle plan to make a living, considering they won't be returning to active royal duty. They will be living in the United Kingdom as regular citizens, as much as a royal can live a regular life. Prince Archie and Princess Lilibet, the children, are scheduled to start school in England come September, so their move will happen relatively quickly. Though a lot of unanswered questions regarding the security of the family. Security was one of Prince Harry's main complaints and concerns, saying that he was going to leave in part because of his family's safety and security. The fact that they are coming back now is raising a lot of questions. It's unclear as to why they're moving. There was a family reunion between King Charles, Queen Camilla, Prince Harry, Meghan Markle, and the 2 small children last month. In fact, it was the first time that the royals saw the grandchildren in 4 years, so it could be the start of mending some fences. But when it comes to the British public, well, they are mixed on the family's return.
Like any press, the English press was quite ruthless with her and like their families. So, but I'm assuming that if they've chosen to come back to the UK, they're probably well equipped and ready to handle anything.
It's such a big to-do that they were going, and we were all horrible and racist, and now they're coming back.
I think the whole royal family is
kind of shambles, to be honest.
One thing is certain, there will be a lot of interest on the family when they do return, and that may lead to more questions about the family's security, especially all of the media interest around the two small children who have not been exposed to the British media, the British public, and their interest in the royal family. Crystal Gamansing, CBC News, London.
Moderna and Merck are reporting some encouraging results from a mRNA cancer vaccine trial. They say the experimental and personalized treatment could help prevent melanoma from spreading and returning. But as Tashana Reid reports, some key questions remain.
Drug makers Moderna and Merck share prices surging after early results from its phase 3 clinical trial for an mRNA vaccine for melanoma. The companies say the treatment reduced cancer from returning and spreading.
There's a chance that you have an increased ability to be disease-free and for a potentially extended period of time.
Still, details are few. Merck and Moderna did not release specific data on the long-term survival of patients or how much they benefited. The ongoing trial enrolled more than 1,100 high-risk patients with varying stages of melanoma that had been surgically removed. Some were given Merck's immunotherapy drug alone, already commonly used in cancer treatment, or the drug plus an individualized mRNA cancer vaccine tailored to the patient and their own tumor.
It's given to the patient to teach their immune system how to identify cancer cells better. In case there's a cancer cell roaming around, then the immune system by itself can just go in and kill it.
The companies also cited encouraging results in an earlier, smaller phase 2 trial. Experts say a lot is still unknown.
We don't know whether the same level of improvement was present in the phase 3 as we saw in the phase 2.
A number of clinical trials are underway for similar treatments for lung, bladder, and pancreatic cancers. Advocates say these advancements are needed.
We are still losing 3 people every day in Canada to melanoma.
Magnifying glass.
This year, it's estimated 11,000 Canadians will be diagnosed with melanoma, many eagerly awaiting new treatments. Still,
the process does take time.
The drug still needs to finish phase 3. Then regulator approval is required and pricing will be set.
Unfortunately, the patients who are now having melanoma will not be able to access this. Hopefully, our government and our healthcare system will push, in case the data shows that degree of positivity, to try to access it as soon as possible.
Merck and Moderna say they plan to publish the complete data from the phase 3 trials and present their findings this fall. Tashana Reid, CBC News, Toronto.
The Canadian Food Inspection Agency warns that about a third of the olive oil on the shelves is not what it claims to be. It's mislabeled and potentially cut with inferior product. But as the CBC's Gloria Enriquez shows us, there are ways to find a taste you can trust.
Quebec oil producer Chantal Van Winden says the products coming out of her field are 100% authentic.
We're proud of this because we know we're nourishing well the soil. We also know that we're nourishing well the humans.
This is camelina, an ancient crop in the mustard family. Oil is produced from its seeds. Van Winden says it can be directly traced from this field to the bottle, unlike some olive oil on the Canadian market.
People are realizing that there's a big issue with olive oil quality.
The Canadian Food Inspection Agency found that in about 1 out of 3 bottles it tested, the olive oil was either tampered with lower quality oils or misrepresented claims that it was extra virgin, unrefined, or cold pressed. In fact, the CFIA says that out of all of the food it tested, olive oil had the lowest compliance rate for authenticity testing. It's why Van Winden and other oil producers wrote an open letter to customers.
We have to say to the world, to people, to Canadians, that we do have other alternatives.
Olive oil fraud is a worldwide problem. In 2023, cases hit a record high in Europe.
Olive production has been going down, and therefore olive oil production has been going down, which drove up the price. If there's money to be made, chances are people will try at some point.
Last year, the CFIA intercepted about 7,000 liters of adulterated olive oil, preventing it from being sold. Michel Favuzzi says he checks every batch of olive oil he imports.
C'est bon.
Lab tests confirm its authenticity. Pavuzzi recommends consumers taste the product before using it. He says it should smell grassy, not like walnuts.
The higher the quality, usually the more peppery and bitterness it has because it has more polyphenols, which are antioxidants.
Pavuzzi says the more information is offered on the label, such as harvest date, olive oil variety, and place of origin, the better. Gloria Enriquez, CBC News, Montreal.
A high school student from St. John's is heading to Sweden for one of the world's most prestigious international youth science competitions.
Plastic pollution is out of control. It's important that we remove it at every single step we can.
Maroti Digbuega is heading to grade 12 in September, but first he'll be representing Canada at the Stockholm Junior Water Prize competition. His invention uses a machine powered by artificial intelligence to get plastic debris out of water. He envisions it being useful for cleaning effluent tanks or in wetland restoration projects. Well, Canada's main stock index edged lower today, while U.S. markets also lost ground as geopolitical concerns sent oil prices higher. A look now at the numbers as we head to commercial break.
All right, we're back to wrap things up, and it sounds like a beach day tomorrow.
Yeah, not a half bad forecast, AJ?
No, not bad tomorrow. Just make sure you are prepared for maybe an isolated sprinkle or two that could bubble up into the afternoon. Otherwise, do expect a general clearing trend through the second half of the day for most areas. Now, I showed you kind of the worst case scenario with that potential for showers the last time I showed you a forecast model, so I thought I'd leave you with a more optimistic look here. There's that isolated shower, thunder shower chance that does diminish for most areas across mainland Nova Scotia this evening. Could see a few isolated showers past midnight up into Cape Breton. That front moving through, I do see the potential for showers across mainland Nova Scotia overnight, likely just looking at some drizzle, though, and that's associated with that fog that does begin to retreat to the coast and lift into the morning hours tomorrow. This forecast model, just a little isolated shower. The others showing more of a widespread chance. So it is a low probability you'll see a shower into the afternoon tomorrow. Otherwise, it is a gradual clearing trend as we do see a very light, but still it's there, drier and cooler northwesterly wind that will start to usher in some fresher air late Friday into early Saturday. Now, until we get there, we still have a lot of humidity in place. That means low cloud, fog, some mist and drizzle possible to start your day in the morning. Temperature already close to 20 degrees. We'll see those temperatures up into the low to mid-20s towards the noon hour. Chance we could see an isolated shower bubble up, but for the most part, I do expect that sky to stay fairly sunny through the second half of your Friday. Just know that 27 degrees will likely feel low to mid-30s, factoring in the humidex, because it will take some time for that northwest to westerly wind to start to flush out that humidity, bring in that air that will be a bit more comfortable for Saturday before things start to get humid again, but also unsettled with periods of even heavier rain, a strong wind, and possible thunderstorms into Sunday. So your Friday, not so bad. Saturday looking okay. Sunday's the next one to keep an eye on.
Okay.
Tom and Amy?
Lots to watch for. Okay,
Sure.
Thanks so much, Jay.
Thank you, Jay.
The Royal Canadian Legion is celebrating its 100th anniversary and is marking the milestone by offering free membership to any new members.
The CBC's Taylor O'Brien spoke with PEI Legion members who say it's working.
We have a lot of activities.
Over the last 8 months, Ray Gaudette says the Kingston Legion's membership has grown from 161 members to 198. Last year, they only got 8 new members. He says that's because the Royal Canadian Legion is offering free membership to all new members to celebrate its 100th anniversary. And that growth ensures the Legion will be around for a while.
The main reason why they offered free membership this year was because veterans are getting older. It's a way to kind of inject people back and keep this thing alive.
The incentive started at the beginning of the year and has worked in other branches across Canada too. The Royal Canadian Legion says they've had 100,000 new members join so far this year, which brings its total to 300,000 members nationwide. 15% of those new members are age 40 and under.
You have to evolve, so you have to be welcoming. When you come in the door of a Legion, you should have someone there, or a bartender, whoever, to welcome you and say, welcome to whatever Legion it is. Here's the services we offer. We have a games room, So it's all about first contact.
The Royal Canadian Legion supports and advocates for veterans and is involved with Remembrance Day. But they're also hubs for communities. The Kingston branch hosts bingos and monthly veteran drop-ins. Gaudette says the space gets rented out and turned into an unofficial warming center after post-tropical storm Fiona or when the power goes out.
There are people in the community that might be a business owner, a home-based business, but they have no power. They have no water. We have a tap that we allow people to use water. We can't sleep overnight, but we have coffee, tea, that type of thing. So we are here for you.
Gaudette says he knows other island branches that have 4 or 5 veterans left, and the rest of their membership is people who have family members who are veterans or people who have no ties to the uniform. It's open to everybody, whether or not you or your family have served. Taylor O'Brien, CBC News, New Haven.
Okay, a Chinese robotic company has unveiled its new humanoid robot. It's being reported to outrun the fastest man on Earth. Yes, meet Superman. Unitree Robotics says it developed the new robot in just over 3 months, and they claim it can reach a top speed of 12.66 meters per second.
Spooky. Well, that would be faster than running legend Usain Bolt's quickest time. Unitree claims the robot can achieve a vertical jump of 2 meters as well. Certainly looks like Superman is wired for success.
Yeah, built for speed too. That's it for us tonight. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.
Good night.